What happened during sex that made you realize that it was a mistake? She slapped me right in the balls. She said she thought it was like kinky and that guys liked that. Holy shit, I almost threw up. Redditor responds. See, I accidentally sacked myself. Went for a butt smack, critical fail. Nut tap. Real smooth. I almost threw up, and she thought she did something wrong when I really quickly pulled out and rolled over moaning. That was a fun explanation to give. In college my girlfriend was riding me in my dark bedroom me summer night. She was vigorously gyrating that I could feel her sweat dripping on me. Afterward we kissed and cuddled. When we turned on the light we discovered she had had a bloody nose and her blood was all over my neck and chest. Redditor responds. Vigorously gyrating LOL. This was a bit of a misunderstanding, but when my boyfriend and I first got together, I was going to give him a blowjob so I took the gum out of my mouth and I thought I put it in the trash bin. I did not. After we finished I went to the bathroom and saw gum all over my hair. I guess it was still on my hand when I put my hair up with a hair tie. So I said, man, this takes me back to my childhood. Referring to the gum stuck in my hair. When I walked back into his room, his face had changed from happy bliss to complete concern. He finally apologizes and explains that we don't need to repeat it after a brief pause. The gum in my hair had escaped his notice. He misunderstood what I was saying when I mentioned my turbulent childhood. After we corrected the error, he was still a little spooked by my early years. Redditor responds. Marla in Fight Club, I haven't been fucked like that since grade school. In high school, I was dating a girl who was on top, and I had a severe urge to fart. I didn't know what to do, so I forced myself to keep it inside. She started to get into it more and sped up the pace, which every time she came down produced a series of little rhythmic farts. It made a machine gun sound. When she paused to ask whether I had farted, I apologized for the noisy bed. She was aware. Redditor responds. Your bed smells pretty bad. Another Redditor responds. Huh, does this smell like little rhythmic farts to you too? When the room started spinning, under the influence. I was trying to thrust, while the room was going round, while my stomach was just holding on for dear life. Felt like having sex on a tilt-o-wheel. I don't recommend. She looked me in the eye and said, I wanna be your baby mama. It's like. Maybe save that one for after we've been doing this for more than a week. Redditor responds. The first of many red flags. We actually wound up lasting just under a year. Still keep in touch, but purely platonically, she's still the wrong kind of crazy and I've since moved way on. I once slept with this guy I was considering dating. He pulled out, came in his hand, and then ate it. And then went on like nothing had happened. I never saw him again. Redditor responds. Gotta save up your kilojoules. Reverse cowgirl position nearly lead to a broken dick. Shout out to my ex Kate. Redditor responds. How's your new Kate? Another Redditor responds. Got himself a new Kate. A duplicate. When I was in college, I was getting bone from a guy, riding him hard. I was facing the door to his room and he was looking at, sucking, my tit. The door opens and in walks his dad. He looks me straight in the eyes and freezes for a few moments. The guy didn't notice. His dad woke up and gave me a thumbs up gesture and a hand gesture like, go get them. He left and closed the door. The guy had told me that nobody was home and after the sex I found his father smiling at me. I died of embarrassment. Redditor responds. Wow, cool dad, but super awkward. Just quietly shutting the door would have been cool. Under the stars on a camping trip and it was great up to the point where the sleeping bag caught fire. Redditor responds. Next time use more lube. I met a girl at an after-hours club. I was rolling on a gram of sassafras MDMA and she looked cute enough wearing a patent leather go-go dancer outfit. She pulled me into an Uber and insisted we go back to her place. I'm noticing that we're going through progressively worse neighborhoods, but she's rubbing my tombstone hard dick through my pants and kissing my neck, and honestly, at that point, we could be driving into North Korea. Your boy's just trying to bury his bone. The Uber drops us off at a place that looks like a straight-up trap house. Some tattered and busted 1940s bungalow that, from the outside, looked abandoned. We go inside and she tells me to sit down and make myself comfortable. I ask her to turn on some lights and she tells me that, hoopsie doodle, she forgot to pay her electricity so she'll have to light some candles. She spends like 10 to 15 minutes lighting dozens of candles and the darkened room comes into focus. It looks exactly like John Doe's apartment from Seven. Walls painted black, weird animal bones ornaments everywhere, piles of journals and drawings. Okay, whatever. I can power through it. She slips off into a back room to get into something more comfortable. I hear her speaking, and then I hear someone else's voice speaking. She comes out of the room wearing only her panties. I disregard all the warning signs and I get back into it. She comes over, straddles me, we make out, she gets my dick out and plays with it a little, and then she stops and looks at me. Hey. So, I need to ask you something. Alright. Would you be alright with my husband joining us? All of a sudden, I glance over to the hallway and there's a huge grizzly bear of a man standing there, buck-ass naked, covered in a literal pelt of body hair, his massive hammer of a dick hanging between his legs pendulously. Now, everything in my brain was screaming no. Run. Get out of there. This isn't the cool kind of three-way. Why does she even want my 6-inch when she's got a $5 footlong at home? But my drug-fueled brain and social anxiety took over in a week. Yeah, that's cool, I guess, is what came out of my mouth. So we get started and, to her credit, she's doing some pretty great things to my dick and he just sorta fades into the background. She pushes me into the couch and gets on top of me and I feel him get behind her and drop to his knees. She's doing her thing when, all of a sudden, I feel a wet and pleasant sensation on my nuts. And then I hear a slurping sound. I lean her to the side to see this great silverback of a man sucking my fucking balls. That's where the three-way stopped. I instantly sobered up and put my pants on so fast that I forgot to put my boxer shorts on and had to stuff them in my pocket. Meanwhile, she starts yelling at him like, "God damn it, Andre. I told you not to do any of that, gay, shit without asking first. Remember last time?" And he's just effusively apologizing and telling me to chill and that he'll go back into the bedroom and let us finish. Nope. Too weird. Drugs wearing off. I opened their front door, mumbled something incoherent and left. I learned another hard lesson after that. Finding an Uber at 4 a.m. in one of the worst neighborhoods in the city is almost impossible. We were having sex in the back seat of my car. She was bouncing on me for a couple of minutes, and then she ripped ass. She farted, harder than I thought was possible. I felt the fart air ripple on my thigh, and it smelled so fucking bad, I almost threw up. She didn't stop, or even acknowledge what she'd just done. Felt myself get soft inside of her. Was high and going down on my wife and she squeezed her thighs together with my head in between. For some reason I imagined my head as a panini and thought of an old American dad bit, and loudly blurted out, "Delicioso." She kinda laughed in shock but it completely killed the mood. I have no regrets though, it was 100% worth it for the memory alone. Hey there. We're halfway through this video, and if you're enjoying it, I'd really appreciate it if you took just 2 seconds to hit that subscribe button. Your support means the world to me and goes a long way in helping me create more high-quality videos for you. I had well long ago lost my virginity. I was in college. I thought, well, everyone is fucking, I should do that. It's not a fun story, but I was feeling the pressure just to fuck for the sake of saying I fucked. So I had a FWB, that I actually had feelings for, but she wasn't into anything aside from a quick screw. So one day we're going at it, and in the worst timing ever I say, can I take you on a proper date? Literally in the middle of raw dogging this woman doggy style. She says, no. We're engaged now, but holy hell, the second I spoke I thought she was about to tell me to leave. Crazy woman found it in her heart to actually not hate me. Fire it. I was plaster drunk and this girl decided to take me home, both because the bar closed and apparently she wanted to fuck me. I was hard at walking at this point, and she takes me arm around her shoulder and carry me home. Where she almost immediately starts sucking my dick. I am trying to be nice still, like, lady, I got whiskey dick, this is going nowhere. And then there is some blackout in my memory because the next she is on top of me, and I am inside, and she is yelling very dirty stuff, and things about her wanting my sperm and shit. Luckily I was so pissed drunk that I puke there, all over her. Redditor responds. Not to try and push a narrative onto you, it's your life and experiences, and you can feel how you want about that whole interaction. But it kinda sounds like you were raped to me. First Redditor responds back. I was, but I don't carry it if you know what I mean, but I also have not met her since, and I heard she got another child with some other dude, so. All good here. The time I went down on my girlfriend. I came home drunk and went to town, but it tasted horrible. Drunk me figured I just ignore and make her come, which I did. The morning after when I went to the bathroom to pee, I noticed my mouth and beard was all red. Turns out she got her period that night and she was not aware. The taste was period blood. Still with her 18 years later though, so not sure how big the mistake actually was. She laid there like a slug. Absolutely no interaction whatsoever. The sex was so bad I had to go back for a second time to convince myself it wasn't me. I thought I might be gay. Found out people don't think they are gay. Still finished the blow job cause I wasn't about to do that to a homie. I've never had another doubt just how straight I was. 1/10 would not recommend. Redditor responds. My ex thought he might be gay and tried having sex with a man. He told me it was one of the worst experiences of his life and it turns out he just likes women to put things up his butt. She was on top and kept lifting up off of my dick using her arms and slamming back down on it with the force of her whole body. It slipped out and I felt it bend, saw my life flash before my eyes before I ended up making up an excuse to stop and save myself a terrible fate. Had one who kept scratching the hell out of my back making me bleed. Like I don't mind light scratching but this chick dug in and dragged. It wasn't sexy. I asked her to dial it back or stop but she would not listen. It started to feel on purpose after a while and was the main reason I moved on. She kept asking me questions. Not regular sex questions but questions with answers that I had to think about. Redditor responds. Like math or geography? Oh baby, you like it when I do that? Oh yeah. How about this? Oh yeah. What countries share a border with Qatar? Oh fuck yeah. First Redditor responds back. It's been 20 years. I honestly don't remember the exact questions, I just remember getting lots of follow-up questions and the feeling of, damn, what the fuck does she want me to say? Another Redditor responds. Maybe your relationship was in jeopardy? I asked her if she wanted to have sex after it was getting hot and heavy on her bed. Thought it was more of a formality type question. She said no. Which I said sorry that I was misreading the situation, stopped what I was doing, blah blah. Then after that she said she did want to have sex and just wanted me to ask again, playing hard to get. Thought it was super weird and totally ruined the mood for me. I didn't see her again. Redditor responds. That's fucking stupid. She violated women's code and will be issued a citation. We all know better than to play hooky with consent. What an idiot. Happened a long time ago with an ex. She's on top and stops out of nowhere, looks at me disgusted and says in a degrading manner, "Did you just fucking fart?" I'm like, "Nah, not that I know of." She's like, "Yes you fucking did babe, it smells like shit, you don't smell that?" She takes a moment still assessing what it is she's smelling. She then goes, "Did you fucking shit yourself?" At this point she's looking at me with the maddest face I could imagine. She's still on top of me, reaching under my butt, roughly trying to flip me to the side a bit to get a look at my cheeks and confirm if I had actually shit myself. I'm clean. She's confused. She gets this panicked look, then reaches behind herself to check her own ass and instantly starts crying. As she jumps off of me, I'm now met with the smell she was referencing. It was my house, so I walk her to the bathroom and help clean her up. This was a girl I loved, so it wasn't the shitty situation that got me, but the way she reacted towards me initially turned me way the fuck off. My wife and I were having sex. I was on top just humping away when she said, "Stop, wait a minute." I said, "What's wrong?" And she said, "One of us has a booger whistling." Was getting a blowjob and she threw up green beans all over my lap. Redditor responds. And proceeded to say, "I'm gonna need more green beans." She asked me to hit her. Said I wasn't into that. She asked if I was a pussy. That was the end of that night. It was our first time being intimate together. We were both naked in bed and she was giving me a handjob. Because of the medicine I was on, it could be hard to come at times. But this was really sensual and felt great. Right as I was about to get off, she started pretending my dick was the shifter of a manual transmission. She even made the réveilling noises. I think I instantly went limp. Redditor responds. Instantly? Poor girl didn't even get to fourth gear. Another Redditor responds. Instantly? Poor girl didn't even get to fourth gear. She pooped a little. Didn't freak out or hold it against her, but the moment was over. Redditor responds. Hold it against her, LMFAO. Imagine you're genuinely offended for a long period of time. No, it can't be forgiven. You did what you did. One sweat drop and she reacted like she was a demon, on which I poured holy water. A girl slapped me in the face out of nowhere. First time hooking up, in my car. Hadn't even got naked yet. No previous convo about roughness. The roughest thing we did is she said to push her head down when she was giving me head in the front seat. Now we're in the back, she's straddling me, and just full wind up open hand slap to the cheek without any warning. She was like, "Oh sorry, I thought that was the vibe." I pushed her off me and drove her the rest of the way home, lol. Edit. The best part is she texts me the next day saying, "Oh man, thinking about last night has me so wet," and I was like, yeah, we have very different assessments of last night. We were a couple of 18 years old and we were always at it like a lot of people at that age, but I can remember like it was yesterday. We were doing missionary position and I read somewhere about putting a woman's legs behind her head, so I did that and she was really enjoying and looked at me and I quote, "Oh, this is amazing, I can't wait to tell my mom about this position and that your cock feels deeper in me." It set me back and I may have had a blank look on Mooly face, and she proceeded to tell me every sex act or intercourse she would discuss and tell her mom everything. Her mom knew my size, what we did, what I liked. Apparently she told her mom she wanted to bend me over with a strap on and her be on standby in case anything went wrong. As I have mentioned when talking to friends and coworkers about things as you do, Some people thought it was weird, some thought it was normal, but for an 18 me to hear that knocked me back and also made me go soft. Then she got mad at me. Was doing doggy once with my t-shirt on. The smell was making me nauseous, so I stretched my shirt over her ass, which was a mistake because it funneled the stench up through the collar and turned it into a concentrated ass smell. I made a gagging motion and turned my head, only to realize she had a wall mirror and she was looking right at me the whole time. It was really awkward after, but I still finished, of course. Redditor responds. Ulmo. But OMG, if I were her, my soul would have left my fucking body in that instant. Was going good. She had my underwear off and I went to unhook her bra and she was, "I'm tired, please leave." Then a week later was, "So when you coming over to finish the job?" Went back and same thing again, and I finally said, "What the hell is this?" She was, "So I put my hand down your shorts and then took them off." So? That was the end of that. Still did not understand what the hell happened. As we come to the end of this video, I want to express my gratitude for your time and attention. If you've enjoyed what you've seen and want more of it, please don't forget to subscribe. Your support is what fuels this channel, and together, we can continue to grow and bring you even better content in the future. Thanks again, and until next time.